Hi guys, and welcome to the Safe Space. So, this week we are going to be talking about social media. So, the last couple of weeks I've been not on social media too much. I've posted a few things on my personal Facebook over the weekend. Mainly that was done because I had work colleagues on there, and I just wanted to bitch with people to people who knew what I was going through. It's very, very childish, but it's what it is. But social media is an extremely new thing, right? I am lucky enough, slash old enough, slash both, to have been around when the internet was born. I was just becoming a teenager when the internet started to become something close to where it is today. And social media was not a thing back then. You didn't have Facebook, you didn't have Twitter, you didn't have anything like that. You had message boards, which fulfilled much of the same purpose, but they weren't as instantaneous like that, and many people didn't use them because smartphones weren't a thing, and getting to them was a massive pain in the ass. It wasn't a massive pain in the ass, but if you didn't know much about computers, it was a pain in the ass. Let me put it to you that way. So it was one of them. You didn't have the issues you had today with what social media has brought about. And the realm of bitching online was relegated to what many people to come to see fat, hairy nerds in the mum's basement. That's not the case anymore. Bitching online is a primary pastime for quite a lot of people. So social media has facilitated that, especially with Twitter and Facebook. And it's been weird the last week or so, a bit longer, not being able to post on Twitter as much as I normally would do. And I am not a prolific user of Twitter. Now, this topic came about because when I started streaming, I was just doing it to stream to my best friend at the time. She just didn't really have the ability to play many games, but she was interested in them, so she wanted someone else to play games and her to sit and watch. But at the time, my partner wasn't a gamer or anything, and I was thinking about doing it. I said to her, well, I'm thinking about doing this, streaming. Why don't you watch me? At least I've then got a reason to start. So that's what happened. I started streaming by just streaming for my best friend, and we played Pyre and Wolfenstein, the new ones, and all sorts of other stuff. And it was a good time. And as I realized that I really, really enjoyed streaming, and I wanted to try and make a go of it. And yeah, I was influenced a bit by finding out the amount of money Ninja gets on a regular basis. So I did get it as high. It might not be quite the same anymore. So I was like, ooh. And it seemed like a good job. I've always had this feeling that I was destined to do something else that I wanted when someone said, "What do you do for a job?" I wanted to be able to say something cool, not plug stuff in for a living, which is a little bit redundant of what I actually do, but it's um it's not how I'm a games journalist, or it's not I'm a game designer, or it's not that I want to I play games and people watch me and I entertain people. I'm an entertainer, I guess is what being a streamer is. So I decided we were going to pursue it some more. And as I got into what you need to do to be able to build your stream, the issue of networking came up. Now I'm not a very confident person when I'm talking to new people. This is mainly down to the fact that because I'm having to hide this side of my personality a lot, and this side of the person that I am, to be able to have standard conversations with people and not get too nerdy, because if I do, then it's gonna go okay, and sort of trying not to talk to me and trying not to engage with me. So I have to hide this a little bit. Well, quite a lot actually, but it's a subject for an entirely different safe space. Yeah, so I tend to hide what I'm talking about. So networking for me will be difficult, and I would avoid situations, going into a situation with other people to try and network, because I'm too cynical about it. Then also you've got the idea that I have quite bad imposter syndrome. Now, people are going to say, and I know there's people I'm very close to who already say this, imposter syndrome's not a thing. Imposter syndrome is a thing. Many people get some kind of mild form of it. Mine can be quite bad. There's a post about my imposter syndrome over on dankish.co.uk. If you are interested in reading it, I highly recommend you go check it out. In fact, I'll put a link in the description of this to my website, so you can to that specific article, so you can go have a read if you want to. And it means that I will look at a room of people who are interested in something similar to what I am, and immediately go, if I try and engage with these people, they're going to know more than I am. They're going to be better at this. They're just going to be better, all around better people. I do not deserve to be here, etc., etc., etc. Which presents a problem when you are trying to network. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do when you have imposter syndrome like that. So that presented a problem in and of itself. So I then looked at it, and people went, join Discord, join streaming groups if you want to get bigger, and join Discord channels and chat and talk to people, network that way, chat and talk to people on Twitter. All right, I went, I can do. I started following other streamers, and people have followed me back and things like that, and I've slowly got to the point where I got into a little routine with chatting and posting on Twitter. I tried it on Discord. I tried joining stream teams and everything, and some people will assume that my stream name is followed by TEM in brackets after it sometimes. That is for Team MZ, who are probably the closest team to what a stream team and a stream community that's by streamers for streamers, like they all say that actually wants to be, but in my opinion is not there, and is not quite what they're purporting it to be. It purely through, I had to give up on Discord and do it purely through Twitter, which isn't a bad thing. Like I've had most of my followers on Twitter are other streamers and things. There's a few that's not. There's a few other bits and bobs in there. There's a few legit people who are interested in the things I've got to say and stuff like that, which is good. And I'm not complaining about that. It is a good place to network if you have no other way of doing it, and it's a good place to meet people, and it's easy enough to do. And this is the good side. This is the good side of social media. Social media will allow you to connect with people, allow you to see that it's their birthday and wish them happy birthday. See that when they post that they're ill. I looked on Twitter just before I came to record this, and one of the guys on there that I follow, I won't name names, but he announced that he tested positive for COVID-19. And it was just a string of people go, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, but I hope you feel better." And it will. It will. Just wait. No one on there can really help him unless he's got people that are close to him and he's in real life friends with. But the sheer act of saying, "Get well soon," will perk him up a little bit. You know, it's not a bad thing. On my personal Facebook, every single day, well, just about every single day, I have enough people on there that I get a notification saying today is this person's birthday. Like today I had a notification, it's my Uncle George's birthday, he's 67. Rarely goes on Facebook, but he's on there. And so he's on, and it was his birthday, and before I got out of the car and then got to work, I just went happy birthday. That's that. I do my best every time I see a notification on Facebook to say it's someone's birthday, to wish them happy birthday. Because I want people to say happy birthday to me when it's my birthday, and you're supposed to treat people how you want to be treated. That is how I want to be treated. So that's how I treat people. And it is a good way to be. It's excellent for that. It's excellent for seeing people bigging each other up and going, "Wow, that's amazing that you've done that. Congratulations." Get people getting a new job. Loads of people going, "Oh, congratulations, you got a new job," etc., etc. It's excellent for that. Sharing big moments in your kids' lives. Like I do that on my personal Facebook. I do it sometimes on Twitter as well. And it's brilliant for that. And my daughter's going to grow up with social media from the off. And it's going to be a huge part of how she interacts with her friends when she gets old enough. Yeah, she'll go to school and she'll play with them and interact with them at school. But at some point, that interaction is going to be taken online on a night because she's going to be a teenage girl at some point, and that's what happens. It's the modern equivalent of spending all night on the phone. That's just how it works. It's not a bad thing. Only doing that. But now that has then changed my role as a parent and everybody's role as a parent, because we now have to teach kids how to behave online on social media. It's not a case of staying safe. Like the media will go on, you've got to make sure that you keep your kids safe online, make sure that they're not being groomed or anything like that, which, yeah, all right. That's all stuff you've got to be aware of. That's all stuff you've got to make sure that it doesn't happen. And they know the signs what to look for and when to stop it and when to report it and all that jazz. No one reports that you have to teach your kids how to behave online. And that's something that we need to do, because this then leads into the bad side of social media. It does. It's a case of if you don't, then people will not see other people on the end of the computer. They just see a name. They just see a bunch of text that's a name, and it won't be the person's either real life name, it'll be their online name. So my real life name is not Danikage. It's Dan. So you can call me Dan if you want, it's fine. And excuse me. You have to now these days instill that in your kids. That these names that show up on Twitter are real people. For the most part, there's a lot of bots on Twitter, to be fair, but on Twitter and on Instagram, Facebook is slightly different because you have to display your real name, unless you do it a totally different way. But yeah, it's that's how you have to do it on there. So and then you have to teach your kids that real people are on the other end, and if you are mean to them, they can get upset just as much as if you were mean to their face. Difference is they can't smack you. A lot of people, when they get upset enough, will just smack you. So that won't happen on social media, but consequences will be different, potentially just as bad. That is the downside of social media. If you're not paying attention, if you're not treating people how you would treat them in real life, the resultant backlash can be devastating to dangerous, straight up dangerous. And again, it's the downside of social media. Like the number of content creators and streamers who are female get nothing but crap on Twitter and on Twitch and on other social media platforms, mainly because they're female. It's ridiculous. Like there was one guy who sued Twitch. Like he was suing Twitch for like $25 million because he was a sex addict, and Twitch's algorithm presented him with lots of pretty ladies on the front page, which he says means he couldn't get away from his sex addiction. Right? And then you look at the number of streamers that he follows, he actively wasn't trying to get away from that. He was following almost exclusively female streamers that he found attractive. I think the report that I saw said he followed 3 guys, and the rest of the 100 and odd people that he were following were female. And he was like saying that it's the female streamer's fault and Twitch's fault, the account thing, and he wants all these female streamers banned and Twitch to pay him $25 million for the disruption to his life and the fact that he can't get his life back on track. What? It's insane. People are going, oh yeah, it's disgusting that these women can get away with what they're doing on Twitch. Why? They're not doing anything, they're just being on Twitch and are good at it. And yes, some guys follow them because they're good looking. It won't be, for the most part, won't be the sole reason they are followed. They'll be followed because they're good content creators. It's like stuff like that will generate even more bile and hatred sent their way through social media. Social media is a brilliant and terrible thing at the same time. It really is. I'm supposed to, as a streamer, like try and post up to 10 times a day on Twitter, because the more you post, the more engagement that you get and the more followers that you're likely to do. And people get obsessed with Twitter, spend all their time looking down Facebook, looking down their Twitter timeline, looking down Instagram, not doing anything but that, right? And they become obsessed with it, and they become obsessed with their follower count. Like, I've seen people on my Twitter thing who post tweets from services that show that it's like 4 people this week who have unfollowed you. Who cares? The service is completely pointless. It just feeds people's addiction to social media. It's unnecessary. You don't need to know if people have unfollowed you, especially if you're a few 100,000 followers on Twitter. You don't need to know that at all. You really don't. For people who have unfollowed you, okay, they're allowed to do that. I'll call them out for it. Why would you do that? In the same way that you don't turn around to everyone who follows you and say, thank you for the follow. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch or something. Some people do that. They have bots out that do that. I'm not one of them. I think you should be more than capable of looking at my profile and clicking the Twitch button. If you want to follow me on here or on YouTube. By the way, hit that like and subscribe button. And it's you don't need to do that. You don't need to call out the people who have unfollowed you, because it just makes you look like a twat. Why are you calling people out for it? Don't. And yeah, I'm supposed to be posting up to 10 times a day, because the more engagement I get, the more likely I am to be followed on Twitter. Which is all well and good, except I have a wife, a daughter, and a full-time job. Which means finding 10 things a day to post about, or finding the time to write a Twitter post 10 times a day can be tough. And yeah, I get some engagement, some I don't. None of this is growing the way that I wanted it to, but I'm also enjoying what I'm doing, so it doesn't really matter. For the last couple of weeks, I've been that busy with my main job, I haven't had time to post more than once or twice a day on Twitter. Over the weekend, I posted 3 or 4 times on my personal Facebook, and not that, and basically nothing on Twitter other than if I got a chance to go live on Twitter on here, then a go live message, which is like the worst thing you can do if your Twitter profile is just a block of go live messages. People ain't going to follow you for that. They're not. And you need to try and engage people, and that's what I try and do. And on the morning, I've been saying good morning, Twitter, how is everyone today, and sort of asking questions, trying to get people to engage. And it works sometimes, other times it's not. Yeah, so I haven't posted much on social media over the last couple of weeks. And actually, I was thinking about this today, and on paper that should be a bad thing for a streamer. I need to keep the engagement up, keep the content flowing, so I'll be always on it. And it's also a good thing that I'm not, because I've taken a break from social media and I'm not getting stressed out or looking down my timeline or anything and trying to engage and desperately trying to get more people to follow me. And in one sense, that's a bad thing. So as a streamer, I've got to try and keep the content going and get the more followers to get on Twitter, the more followers I get on Twitch and YouTube, and it'll make my stream grow, etc., etc., etc. But having not done that, I know that I can step away from social media and that my real life, my family, is more important than that. I'm not a slave to my social media presence or my online presence. And it strikes the right balance. Will it help me grow as a streamer? Probably not. Will I hit it big as a streamer? Probably not. Probably because I do stuff like that and everyone else who does it is putting more effort in than I am. At the end of the day, I would rather be part of my daughter's life as she grows up until the point where she doesn't want me to be part of her life anymore. And that's not a bad thing. So, social media, in that instance, social media will then become aware that I can keep connecting with my daughter. Like I keep connecting with my parents only slightly via Facebook, and my sister and my niece and nephews and my godsons and their parents, especially over the course of this year, been able to keep connected to people via social media, via doing this and things like that. And that's one of the things that's a good thing. Also, if I need to step away, I will step away. And it's just a case of trying to find a balance between keeping your online presence going and your real life, because social media, as this title of this safe space says, is both a good thing and a bad thing. And you have to find the balance between keeping engaged online, social media, and interacting with your friends on it, and interacting with people online. Offline, should I say. Don't become a slave to social media. I see posts all the time of people going, I'm stepping away from social media, I spend too much time on this as it stands. Like, yeah, you probably do. On a Saturday and Sunday, put your phone down. Don't post what you're eating for every meal or anything like that, especially if you're out. Not that that is really a thing in 2020, but don't do that. Just enjoy the company that you're with. Have an actual conversation. Try and put your phone down. I know it's hard. Trust me, I don't always practice what I preach here, but that's what you need to do. Yeah, it's tough nut to crack, but I like to think that I personally do it. So if anyone complains that, if you follow me on Twitter and you think, I don't understand why you don't tweet a lot at the weekend. That's why. It's nothing to do with not liking Twitter. It's not anything to do with not liking you or anything that you're posting. I simply am spending time with my family on the weekend. That's how it goes. So, yeah. So try and find that balance, guys. That's what I'm saying. Find that balance and stick to it. Don't be a slave to do it. If you want to make a goal of being a content creator, you sort of slightly by necessity have to be online social media. Not necessarily. You can potentially do it without, but it does help. But just don't become a slave to it. Do the best you can. Have that split and make sure you take breaks. But like, don't. When I say take breaks, don't go for weeks and weeks of doing nothing but being online and interacting with people through Twitter, and then something goes wrong and you get pissed off and then go, right, I'm stepping away from Twitter, I can't hack it at the moment. But you should be doing that every couple of days anyway. You should be doing that for hours in a day. Obviously you've got sleep, but that's different. It's like, I will finish work and I will come home, and unless my daughter says something exceptionally funny or something really, really pisses me off or something like that, I won't be posting on Twitter until I come up here to get ready to stream. And that's hours. That's like 3-4 hours away from Twitter. Some people can't go 20 minutes without being away from Twitter. No, go hours without being from Twitter. It's fine. It's fine. There's always something new to read. So yeah, that is my rant on social media. Over. Hope you were entertained. Guys, stay safe out online. Take breaks. Don't feel bad about stepping away from social media. It's fine. It really is. Use it to keep in touch with your friends. Use it to grow if you're a content creator or something like that. But if you have to step away, don't feel bad about it. It's absolutely fine, I tell you. So, thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next one. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and I will catch you next time.